Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and it is Friday. So you're going to get your weekly Manhattan market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at supply. We're back from Labor Day, 58.70. That's low. Show me the chart.
It is low, Noah, and there has been a bit of a bump, and we're going to see that once we get to the weeklies. But in general, supply is falling. It's surprising to see, and I think we're going to be talking about that today.
Yeah, well, I mean, the listing season is just getting going. So we're just starting to see that pump of new inventory come in there. So it'll take some time to filter into that supply number. So we'll see where that goes from here. Let's move on to demand. That looks like it's falling a little bit too, coming out of the holidays. 48.35 for pending sales. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, it's falling. We're below the 5,000 mark. We went below last week while we were off for Labor Day. Really, though, Noah, I mean, we've been seeing that trend decline over the last several weeks, so this is nothing new.
Yeah.
But again, let's look at the weeklies for some real inspiration here.
Yeah, and before we go to the weeklies, I just want to take a look at the market pulse really quick, right? And this, if I go to a 1 year, you can see it in the 1 year. This kind of got up to a high of 8.5 here, 0.85, excuse me. And that was just a couple of days ago because that was right before the listing wave started to hit. Right. And now that's starting to come down a little bit because the listing wave is coming in. So more inventory is coming on. So this is starting to shift lower. This is what we were waiting for. This is what we're waiting for in terms of the fall wave of new inventory for all those buyers out there that were frustrated with the constrained inventory for the last few months. This is what is the start of what's to come. So we want to watch this number, this market pulse, and see if it goes down into the sevens and how low that goes, because first the stuff comes on, and this is going to be a 3-4 week process here, Johnny. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at that ticker, and there we go. We can see it right off the bat. I'm looking at supply, 606 things. That's up a lot. Johnny, show me that chart.
It is up a lot. I mean, that's a large weekly gain, no matter how you slice it. I think that's the second highest in the last couple of years. So I think the first one was back with that listing surge in May we had. But this is a good thing. I mean, we're in a very overheated market. We're very supply constrained. So anything that we can do to sort of ease that by getting some new listings on the market is a good thing. And bear in mind that supply typically leads contract activity. So we're getting that first wave on.
Right.
Let's give this a few weeks, and hopefully these will turn into deals as well.
Exactly. When I look at the deals, I look at the contract sign. We're at 213. That is down, but then the fact that we're over 200 is just incredible for this time of year. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, so it was 230 this week. Again, over 200. It's still fantastic. Last week we actually did 280. Honestly, I would not have expected that on Labor Day. You know, the week before Labor Day, 280 contracts. It's simply amazing. And so anything that we can do to add to supply to this is a good thing, because otherwise we run the risk of going well overheated.
Exactly. And when you take a look at the 1 month on the ticker, I just want to point out here, look at how many off markets there are. Okay, let's just be aware that this off market number is a little higher than really it usually is, I think. And it's the last couple of days. You can see it right over here. That's when all this activity is starting to pump in post Labor Day. So is that something that's going to continue for the next few weeks? And if so, that will constrain supply, because again, you got 1,100 things going to contract, you got 1,100 things going off market. That's a lot more than 1,400 things. And you got this net deficit type of story coming on here, Johnny. And you were kind enough to go ahead and pull some data so that we could visually show our audience and people that are listening to this what we mean by a net deficit. Right, John? So when we think about inventory, there's stuff coming on the market, stuff going into contract, stuff going off the market. And when you put all that together and you say, well, is there more stuff at the end of it coming on, pressuring supply up? Or is there less stuff going off, so that's pressuring supply down? This is what that chart looks like. And if you take a look, let me just change my color here for a moment. If you take a look at, I mean, my gosh, this is since November. We have only had 1 month where we had a net increase in inventory. Everything else has been a net downward pressure decrease.
That's right. And that positive month was what, 44 units? So I mean, it's almost like a rounding error. And so you think about all the people who are actually out there on the ground right now looking to buy an apartment right now. So everything that's coming on looks like it's basically just going right off. So yes, we're seeing new supply come on. The 600 units is fantastic, but your searches every week are getting thinner and thinner. So again, that's that supply constrained issue. I think it is going to become a big issue going ahead if we don't see more supply come on here.
Yeah, and if we see demand, if we do see supply come on, just to take an alternative view, if we see that supply come on, but demand remains at this elevated level and off market remains at this elevated level, we still might have a situation where we have a constrained supply situation where we're just not seeing rising inventory. Let's not forget, where we at 9,600? Where were we in September?
Yeah, close to it.
I mean, so we're at 5,800 now. That was quite a move down. Very interesting, Johnny. Thank you for pulling up all this data. I really appreciate. Don't forget, guys, if you got questions, we got answers, please visit our forum. We are here to discuss the markets with you. That is John Walkup. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We are both from UrbanDigs. This has been your weekly Manhattan market update. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you next time.